The concept of seeing in the dark wasn't new. Night vision tech predates Vietnam, with early infrared sniper scopes appearing in World War II. These were active systems, requiring a large infrared lamp to light up targets, making them clumsy and easily detectable. In Vietnam, the US introduced passive image intensifiers. Scopes like the AN/PVS-2 Starlight amplified existing ambient light. But these first-generation devices were incredibly cumbersome. Weighing around 6 pounds, the rifle-mounted scopes were heavy, bulky, and threw off a soldier's balance. These scopes funneled photons onto a phosphor screen, amplifying the light thousands of times to create the iconic ghostly green image. The notion of red glowing eyes is a myth. The phosphor used by ground troops was exclusively green. Green was chosen for sound scientific reasons. The human eye is most sensitive to the green part of the spectrum, allowing for more perceived detail with less eye strain during long, tense hours of observation. By 1967, thousands of scopes were in the field, but they had serious flaws. They suffered from blooming. A bright light like a muzzle flash would create a blinding halo, washing out the image. They also had significant fisheye distortion that warped shapes and made judging distance difficult. Place this imperfect technology into the chaos of Vietnam. In the suffocating heat and with the constant threat of ambush, a soldier's perceptions were already fragile. The jungle itself was a disorienting maze of shadows and unseen sounds, breeding a state of constant hypervigilance. Now, filter that fragile reality through the flawed lens of a Gen 1 scope. The distortion could twist a branch into a human form, add severe sleep deprivation, combat trauma, and military-issued stimulants, and you have a perfect storm for misperception. The line between a real threat and a hallucination could blur completely. The legend begins with classified technology, an experimental night vision scope with a crimson-tinted lens. This predator vision was meant to cut through the jungle's darkness, but it revealed something terrifying. Through the blood-red lens, soldiers saw them, winged, skeletal figures flitting between trees and tall, featureless shadow beings watching from the depths, impervious to bullets. Decades later, these supposed secrets erupted online, not in official records but on forums and social media. Anonymous accounts claiming to be veterans posted fragmented anecdotes, presented as confessions from a forgotten war. The format was perfect for viral spread. Short, punchy, and often paired with grainy, unrelated footage to lend an air of authenticity. Content creators seized upon the most sensational elements and the narrative escalated. Stories emerged of helicopter crews emptying ammunition into empty jungle, screaming about phantoms over the radio. The most disturbing tales involved red-on-red incidents where soldiers, driven mad by what they saw, allegedly turned their weapons on their own comrades. Beyond the online chatter, some accounts attributed to veterans carry a more somber tone. They speak less of monsters and more of inexplicable phenomena, faint, glowing outlines moving in the darkness, or enemy casualties vanishing by dawn. Here the line blurs between legend and the psychological trauma of war, where exhaustion and hypervigilance can alter perception. To add scientific credibility, the myth co-opted a real chemical, dicyanin. This obscure dye was once claimed to allow the viewing of the human aura. The legend retroactively applied this paranormal lore, suggesting dicyanin was the secret ingredient in the red filters, unlocking the ability to perceive beings from another dimension or light spectrum. The idea of a special lens revealing a hidden reality is a powerful trope. John Carpenter's film, where sunglasses expose aliens, is the most cited parallel. Its iconography became linked with the legend, making the unbelievable feel familiar. It taps into a narrative where technology unmasks monsters hiding in plain sight, and so the legend grows in a feedback loop. Each retelling adds a surreal layer. A sniper's heat signature becomes a vengeful ghost. What may have started as battlefield rumors, born from the stress of jungle warfare, were captured and amplified by the internet. Algorithms and global sharing hardened these whispers into what many now believe is suppressed historical fact. Crucially, no declassified military documents confirm issued red phosphor NVGs in Vietnam. Exhaustive searches of official archives show only the standard issue AN/PVS-2 Starlight scope. The absence isn't a conspiracy, it's a historical fact. The legend of a secret monster-revealing optic is just that, a legend. Green phosphor was standard for a simple scientific reason. The human eye is most sensitive to its wavelength, providing the clearest image. Red is primarily used in limited aviation cases to preserve a pilot's night vision for instruments. It was never designed for ground combat, making its supposed use by infantry a compelling but fictional detail. First-gen NVGs produced significant artifacts. Halos and ghosting can turn leaves and branches into monstrous shapes. An animal's eyes reflecting the infrared illuminator could appear as a terrifying disembodied glow. In the dense jungle, the potential for misinterpretation was enormous, easily turning a startled animal into a lurking predator. Combine that faulty tech with the human element. Stress, fatigue, stimulants, and trauma all increase susceptibility to hallucinations in combat. The brain under immense pressure becomes primed for pareidolia, the tendency to perceive menacing figures in random patterns. It's a survival mechanism pushed to its breaking point. The myth often mentions Disyanen, a dye fabled in early 20th century occult circles to reveal auras. This is a classic case of retrofitting an old myth onto a new fear. Disyanen is not a documented military optics chemical or portal substance. It's a chemical ghost story with no basis in reality. The switch to greener optics was technological, not a cover-up. It was evolution driven by performance, not paranoia. Ultimately, the Vietnam Predator is a perfect storm. Primitive tech, a terrifying environment, and profound trauma. It's a powerful piece of folklore born not from a monster but from the very real horrors of war itself. So, did red NVGs reveal demons? Almost certainly not. The story more likely grew from optics artifacts and wartime trauma. That said, these stories reveal the real cost of war, fractured perception and long-lasting psychological scars. What do you think? Myth or hidden truth? Comment below, like, and subscribe for more unexplained history. Thanks for watching. Stay curious.